Great David Schwartz, sometimes known as Pokey, has returned and is issuing the most bizarre warning I have ever seen. Yes, he usually says things that are obvious. In my opinion, this one is really obvious. Let's see. Hi everyone, I hope I'm getting through. Look for the additional piece at about $2.16. Let's just range now, shall we? The range is identical to that of Bitcoin. Given that we need time, I'm thrilled that they are combining these currencies. A little while. Thus, I'm always thrilled by that price, but I'm not sure if today's movie will be really exciting or, should we say, thought-provoking. All right, people. Now that the enjoyable portion of extracting the XRP community is over, let's get started. This is one of David Joel's catchphrases. Quite interesting. And I thought, yeah, this is another one of those cryptic messages when I saw it. However, this one is more or less merely presented to us in its whole without any hidden meaning, he may remark. Goodbye, Singapore. All right, so what do you immediately notice about this image? Everything is red, 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 red. What makes that the case, correct? Even the way that the lights reflect off the lake displays red, as if there were blood in the horizon or bloody waters. Everyone is saying red, right, red, 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 red in the comments. And I'm not sure why. The airport in Singapore is quite effective. From the Fairmont Hotel to my gate at the airport, it literally took me less than 30 minutes. In addition, even with the airplane taxi to the runway, it took less than a minute to get there. This is a very efficient airport, and another interesting piece of efficient technology that I am aware of is the XRP ledger. Right now, many people are saying red candle soon. What does this actually mean? Although Mr. Poole contacted first and warned us to be on the lookout for this region, this location's right, and David Shaw's is essentially the same. Let's look into this first. Picture, guys, correct? For Mr. Poole, it's just a big fat reinforcement that the viewpoint is different and engaging. All right, so we're talking about the possibility of red candles showing up shortly. I'm referring to time or the previous months and months. Just now we saw red atop red. Indeed there. And a few sprinkles. It's mostly been red with a few green guys. All right, over time. Now, I do believe that a dump is coming due of these charts once more. When it occurs, it must seize this liquidity, gentlemen. It will happen fast when the pump happens, right? And most likely when we're near the bottom or somewhere thereabouts, guys. When we're ready to take off, Davis sure doesn't stall. My prediction is that Davis will publish a highly excited tweet since he always does what he normally does now. But, however, folks, there are two ways to read this. In a moment, we will discuss the favorable bullish element. However, people are suddenly selling their 5-year-old Ethereum pile for XRP, correct? Guys, if you are holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these other coins, now is not a terrible moment to check. It is also not a humorous gadget, but it is not a bad time to sell Bitcoin for XRP or Ethereum for XRP, is it? Since we're approaching the range's end or bottom, isn't that correct? It's not a bad time since in the upcoming months, XRP will perform better than Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'll say it myself. I take it that we are now discussing red. Alternatively, bearish. The Justin Financial Stability Board has warned that Bitcoin is approaching tipping points that could lead to systemic instability. The Financial Stability Board and international organization that keeps an eye on the world's financial institutions is at least the source of this absurd warning. Correct. These individuals, I believe, are essentially the overseers, or at the very least, they keep an eye on these other sectors and industries. Correct. They recently raised the alarm about Bitcoin, citing its growing linkages to traditional banking and vulnerabilities like liquidity mismatches. Their February 2022 study highlights the possible systemic danger of cryptocurrency's explosive expansion, which is expected to reach a $2.6 trillion 0 cents market size by 2021. This warning now coincides with a startling uptick in the use of Bitcoin in 2025 as institutional investors like MicroStrategy have added billions to their assets, defying previous dismissals of cryptocurrency as merely online money and drawing regulatory attention. The 2008 financial crisis provides historical evidence of how unchecked asset bubbles can cause economic instability. Although no peer-reviewed study has yet to fully quantify the impact of cryptocurrency on contemporary financial stability, it is possible that the Financial Stability Board's concerns are well-founded. This is absurd. These folks are cautioning that since you never know what will happen, you might want to keep an eye out for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general, guys. I believe that XRP is a safe haven asset in current times, don't you think? A hedge But I'm not sure about these other currencies. Funny how this also happened recently, isn't it? I want to show you this TikTok as well before we go on to David Schwartz's mysterious message, since it helps you think more clearly, correct? And it explains why the channel is where it is now, isn't it? Because, you know, we decode the moon date. Ultimately, we strive to keep 5, 8, 9 steps ahead of the curve, okay? And gematria or numbers are a crucial component of all of that. This is an attempt at simulation, Mr. Poole stated. I take it you can't stop it, so let's observe. As a code that creates the matrix, numbers are God's language. All right, give this a listen. It might help you understand why everything is occurring at this moment. The Hebrew terms for mother, name, alpha, mem, and 1 add up to 41. 41, 44 is the sum of 3, correct? You mean the Hebrew word for child, yelling, mother, father, child. 10, 30, and 4, 44. Color is merely a lengthy sequence of, some claim that God sent us this code. That is somewhat intriguing. That's just wonderful stuff, I agree. Look at this, will you? Kadem is the term for the Garden of Eden. Translation in Numbers 144, and the tree of knowledge is worth, okay? You mean in the garden, 144, 233. It's Hachaim 233. Those figures are yours to keep. The like the Fibonacci sequence, you know, the Fibonacci number. Fibonacci. How do you think then? It seemed to me that all of these religions are similar to rivers or roads leading to the sea. Although it's the same thing, it appears that everyone discovers the truth in a different method, shall we say? Again, that's just numbers, folks. We discuss all of the numbers on this channel, don't we? Particularly with these decodes as well, which reveal particular meanings and such. Apart from that, perhaps you have a slightly open mind. Awaiting a special tweet, please. Let's go back to the tweet from David Schwartz. Very intriguing right now. Isn't it 6:15 today? Folks, the storm starts around 6:15. Now, as the storm is approaching, it's amusing to eat some popcorn and discuss Singapore. Isn't that right? This group was the source. They also continue to reference this place. Is this a sky event? They asked. When we discuss the sky or certain events, it somehow relates to or has something to do with the sky, perhaps looming large from the county bluff. Following that, he uploaded a video stating incoming current north. Whoa, perhaps another sky. Occurrence for Mr. Poole, this individual, is, after all, gazing up at the sky and observing all of the lightning strikes that are occurring right now. This relates to the date of tomorrow. This storm again, right? It all boils down to the tweet from David Shaw. Once more, though, a bullish interpretation is imminent. I want to go over everything first. The streets are lined with tanks. It is almost time for the finagicism to lock in. Yes, this right here from Brad Garlinghouse is the ultimate objective, even during the storm. That's right, when you guys see those tanks rolling in. You know, it seems to be a prelude to the financial systems transition, and it's exactly what's going on in the globe at the moment. This is all of the new financial system, people, it seems. It's noteworthy to note that a good military budget is 895 as we call it, 589. Isn't that absurd? Here is the bullish side of David Shaw's tweet, which is undoubtedly another interpretation of the reset. Correct, we could say that everything is bearish, but maybe not, since people are talking about how Singapore is currently saying goodbye to the bear market and that it's time to visit. When we talk about Singapore, I love to talk about the moon, the Juno, and the spring, immediately from the bear. Watch out for this, he said. We'll discuss Singapore, yes, but it's fascinating. And so too, all of this is similar to many events occurring. So they ascend, the springs slide to the right. However, have a look at this concrete evidence that this could indicate a positive rather than a negative outcome. The stock market color connotations in China and most of South and East Asia are the opposite of what is typical in Western nations. The red, or bullish, price increased. What is this? Then the price